Welcome back. This is episode 3 of 10 Things Real People Can't Live Without. And today we have as our distinguished guest, digital impresario and a very, very good friend of mine, Mr. Manolo Almagro. I've known Manolo from way back in the day, in the nascent days of digital marketing in the
That's right.
Philippines. He was a digital marketing executive for Jollibee, but also for Zenith Optimedia, which was one of the media agencies of Nestle back in the day. So Manolo, I mean, I know you're in Chicago right now, and you're a senior consult or senior director for Publicis Sapient on their innovation arm. Tell us a little bit more of what you're up to right now.
Sure. So it's been a crazy ride. I mean, before coming to Publicis Sapient, I was at EY where I was specializing in computer vision and what they call spatial analytics, which is basically physical location analytics. So how people move through a space and things like that. So I had no idea that was going to be my next thing. You know, you and I, we were in digital marketing for a while, but it just, you know how things are. AI happened and
You
things just
gotta
got
roll with
crazy.
it.
You
Yeah,
got to
you gotta
roll with it,
roll with
right?
it. Gotta follow the innovation and keep abreast and just keep learning, keep
E-
evolving.
Exactly. And so I evolved kicking and screaming. And then now I work with various retail and QSR clients and travel and hospitality as part of this. They call it customer experience and innovation. And basically, we kind of design or engineer different types of experiences for when you're inside like a hotel or inside when
Mm,
you're shopping and we connect it back to all of the other channels that they have. So, you know, I think if you think about things like if you go up to a drive-through now, right? Like here in the United States, drive-through is 75, 80% of how we go to restaurants now,
right,
right?
right.
So you'll notice all the digital signs that are there. You know, the job I have is to use various spatial sensing and things like that to understand who's in front of that screen and then tailor that offer so that it makes you buy more stuff. Like if you think
Right.
about it, like I could look at the kind of car you drive and make some inferences. Like if you're in a minivan, I'm going to say, hmm, maybe there's kids in there, so I'm going to push
Yeah.
Happy Meals or something.
Right, right.
And then the retail space, I use things like loss prevention cameras that are everywhere. If you think about all those surveillance cameras that we've already put in years ago, all of those video feeds can now be analyzed by AI. And what I do is in real time, we understand how people are using the space, where they stand, what shelves that they look at. We could even look at the products they pick up off the shelf. And then we design ways to say, you know what, it looks like that middle shelf is really active. Let's maybe move all the products into certain areas that are, you know, better for customers to discover them or the way people use a store. If you think about where people go when they, you know, if you go to any store, there's a certain way the store is designed, like Target, like it's a racetrack. You go all the way around. It's on purpose. So we look
Exactly.
at the way people use spaces and then try to, I'd say, optimize them. Or if you go to an airport, how people wait and or where they wait and where they are with their families and their kids, we can make a better experience for them. But you kind of have to use the technology that understands physical spaces. So that's a long explanation of what I do these days.
But at least you're still at the forefront of, what they used to call phygital, right? Where digital
Absolutely.
and outdoor or actual locations meet. But as you described it, there's a whole lot of other innovations that's going on right now. So for our millions of viewers out there, you should know this is possible. This is
Yep.
available now where they will profile you just how you look on the camera. Now you're
Yeah,
being captured.
if you dig into things like Walmart or any of your you know, you're in California, so Albertsons is a big brand out there. I work with both of them and they
Uh-huh.
use if you go to their corporate pages, you know, it's hidden in the little here's how we use your data, but it tells you that we're using sensors and cameras in the stores
Right.
to anonymously track your behavior so that we can
Yeah.
make a better experience. So it's already happening. It's just
Right.
now that with the advent of, you know, chat GPT and all of the different LLMs that are out there or large vision models, we can now use AI in a way that we haven't done before to analyze large, vast amount of data. Like every store in the chain can be processed through the large language models now. So the depth of data that we can get in a physical space is very similar to what we used to, you and I were in
Yeah.
the forefront of digital marketing, where we would do things like understand how people use the site and
Yeah.
how to make it better, how to
Heat
look at what the assets.
mapping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that. Think of all those analytics are now available inside a physical location, which used to
Right.
not be possible. So,
Right. Right.
so that's it. That's
Fascinate.
really just taking what you and I learned in the digital space, and now we're moving everything. Because think about the other thing is, I'd say the majority of people go to stores now. Even with
Oh yeah.
COVID, we thought
Stores
that
are
was the end
back.
of it. Stores
Yeah,
are back
stores
in a
are back.
big way. The majority of traffic goes to the store versus the site. So now we
Yep.
can say, I can now look at the physical store and say, here's what we do, and we can connect it back to their online shopping
Yeah.
experience. Right. So it's the omni-channel trifecta, so to speak.
Fascinating stuff, definitely. And we could spend hours discussing this, right,
Yes.
Manolo? You and I can
Yes,
geek
yes,
out
yes.
on this
That's
like
not why we're
forever.
here, is it, Jack?
No, but yeah, what our viewers are interested in though is what someone like you, digital marketing professional, uh, what does what are the top 10 things that Manolo Almagro can't live without? And let's start with your number one for work and productivity. Go ahead, man.
Yes. Well, as you can see, I have a lot of screens around me. Like part of my job is just to understand what's happening in the world. So I have a lot of feeds coming in, and I analyze them, things like that. And of course, I want to keep track of what's happening in the Philippines, like you and I do, right?
Of
But
course, all the time.
I think the number one thing for me is my desk, right? So if you think about our desks today, it's not a well, it is a physical desk. Like you have places where how you organize. I mean, you have that product that you sell now, which is awesome. Um, but I have a digital desk. So for me, I need as much landscape as possible to show the different things that I'm working on. Like I work on two or three different computers at the same time. So for me, I have a huge monitor. It's really a gaming monitor. It's by Samsung. It's a 57-inch curved monitor. Um, yeah, that's it. And basically, what I use it for is I have my different computers plugged into it, so I can actually do like a split screen. And with a Mac, you can actually move your keyboard and mouse seamlessly, so you can move between two computers at the same time as if they're one computer. And that's how I use this monitor. I literally take a mouse when I'm working on one thing. Let's say I'm working in ChatGPT, and then I'll move over to my vibe coding station and I start doing things like that. So having a monitor of this size helps me a lot. It's a ton. I mean, it was a huge investment at the time when I bought it. It was something like 2 or 3 grand. I mean, that was a couple of years
Right,
ago, but
right.
it's
Yeah.
now more affordable. If you're on a computer every day, I think this is a killer platform to have because it's panoramic. It's not just curved. It
Mm,
literally wraps around. Like,
yeah.
hold on real quick. I took a picture for you just so you can see my workstation here, right? So you can
Right.
see, like
Nice.
for me,
Nice.
it's like totally immersive. I can work on two computers at once, and it's definitely like a seamless way to work. Like I think that's the key behind everything is you need a workspace that works around what you do, and that's kind of
Right.
I think it's worth it. So in this case, if you're a person that works on your computer all day long and you work on multiple computers, this is the monitor to get. And if it's now more affordable, so I'd say think about as an investment in your job. That's the way to look at it. I mean, it's not cheap,
Yeah.
but it's not extravagant anymore. And
But
and
it
of course
should,
you can
yeah,
play
it
video
should.
games on it too.
I was just gonna say, I bet it 3x's your productivity just because of the number of
Oh
things
my
you can do.
gosh.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about I mean, you could do like 5 PowerPoints on one screen if you had
Right.
to. But
It's
most of the
it.
time, it's like, if you do coding, you can see a little bit of your code here, you can execute it, and, all of it is in one space.
Yeah.
If you look at some of the programmer workstations online, they have just a screen dedicated to their programming side. It's this similar thing, but if, as you see, it's one pane of glass, but multiple applications running on it. So
How did you find this particular model and brand? Though, have you always been like a Samsung fan,
No.
or you discovered this recently?
You know, I think I have to be honest. I was looking at gaming monitors because, I like to play video games, as you know, as you do too.
Yeah.
Um, but when I looked at it, I'm like, wow, this has other applications because, it's hard to justify a gaming monitor if you're a grown up, right? It's okay if you're a kid. But when I saw the fact that it was, you had zones and multiple inputs, I'm like, huh, that would actually help.
Mm.
Because I used to have three monitors on my desk, right? And
Mm.
basically, you plug those in and you can still
Same.
do the same
Yeah.
thing, but
Yeah.
it's a very nice seamless curve. And plus, if you think about it, when you sit, I'm not going like this with my head. I'm literally just turning my eyes now because it
Yes.
wraps around me. So, I mean,
Right.
the ergonomics is what drew me to it. And I
Okay.
also thought about it a lot. I backwards justified it based on I really need a new gaming monitor, but I can't justify 3K for it. But then, I think when I looked at it a little bit more, I mean, they had another one that was a little bit smaller, but at the time, it's like if you have 32-inch screens, it's already 60. So 59 was an easy rationale. And
Yeah.
if you add up the costs, you're kind of close. If you're doing two 4K monitors or three 4K monitors, you're going to get close to
Yeah.
cost anyway. And
It
Samsung
just
is a good brand. I mean, it's
yeah.
not. I mean, you can't mess around. You
Right.
don't lose if you go with Samsung. So
Right, right. No, it's just funny to me how we went from, in the 90s we had the PC desktop with with the monitor and your PC setup, and then we went to laptops, and
yep,
then we're now back to laptops with the big monitors. It's just that's just interesting to me, where
yep,
you realize, oh, this is not enough. First you want an external monitor, right, where it's just one screen, and
yeah,
then you go, okay, I need two, and then I need three, and then, oh no, I just need one that's really wide.
yep.
That's just
And
interesting to me.
I think it's also with everyone's returning to the office, right? So you now have to take your computing power with you.
Yes.
So you literally need the laptop, and then a laptop screen is small. I mean, there's 14, maybe 16 inch, but with the larger size comes the weight. So you make a trade off with, like, I have two MacBook Pro 14-inch, right? Basically, so I carry those around. They're light, right? But I need to take them to the office. I'm not gonna like uproot everything. I'm not gonna bring a desktop with me. And they have similar monitors at the office too that you can just plug into. So I
Right.
think it's a matter of how we've changed the way we work.
Yeah.
Um, to your point, it's like in the early days, we had like these big honking desktops and things like that. Now it's smaller screens, and no one wants to work on that. No one. I'm getting old,
Nobody
man. I can't
works on that
see
now.
things
Yeah.
anymore.
Nobody does that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's for work and productivity, and obviously for people like us, it's something, related to tech, whether it's a computer, a phone, or a monitor in your case. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum for contrast. When it comes to personal care and like wellness, Manolo, what's
Yes.
that one item that you absolutely can't live without?
This shows you how vain I am. The one item is Le Labo fragrance. Basically, it's the cologne I wear, right? I mean, I go to the gym and things like that, but that's not a product for me. It's just like an activity. I think my wife found this many years
Hmm.
ago. You basically,
Okay.
it's an artisan experience. Like, I wasn't there the first time, but you go in and you tell them this is they let you smell different fragrances. They give you like there's a person there. It's like bespoke
Oh, so they
cocktail
mix it up.
making.
They mix it up for you. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah. I mean,
depending
they
on,
have
yeah.
certain bases that they use from, but they hand blend them
Oh,
in
wow.
real time. So you literally go there once you figure out the different fragrances that you want to have. I mean, they have like a base set that you can start with, and then they say, okay, come back in a half hour, an hour, and we'll have it mixed up for you. But it's a lab inside of the store. So we go to Nordstrom's, and they basically, it's like that. There's a little, we'll call it an apothecary station, and there's a couple people there in white lab coats, and even the experience is really nice, right? You go there, and they're oh, how do you want it to smell, and like what are the fragrances that remind you of him? So my wife kind of put this together,
Hmm.
and it's funny because it's called Santal 33, and yeah, like that. It has all the different like fragrances that are part of it. And I thought
Mm-hmm.
she like made it totally bespoke, but it's just it's a variant of the ones that they sell. So like you could buy the same fragrance, but
Mm.
they still make it on demand for you. It's not like prepackaged. It's literally there, and then you every time you go there, like I run out, see those little bottles there? They actually
Mm-hmm.
make those little bottles
Mm.
for
This
you
one.
on demand, right? The little yeah, that's the travel one, right? So you put that in
Mm-hmm.
your backpack or whatever. And it's not refillable. Like you have to go back, you give it to them, and they have a special seal that uncorks it, which is I think it's like the Apple thing. Once you buy into their
Yeah. Their
product
experience.
ecosystem, you have to
Yeah.
keep going back.
Yeah.
It's not cheap, but I think it's unique to me, and I love the smell, and my wife made it up, so I feel like that's the one thing I keep around, right?
So they're in Nordstrom. You can go to Nordstrom
Yeah, I
and
think
do
they also
this.
have their own branded stores, but
Okay.
they don't.
But the stores are just in New York.
No, they're
They're all
anywhere
over.
there's a Nordstrom's,
Ah, okay.
you can find a La Lapa. You know how inside of department stores they have like little
Yes.
stations for each brand? It's very similar, right? Except this is more of a mini factory for making perfumes. They'll make
Nice.
your thing. They have all the formulas, but they have to craft it in real time, and then it's not like you just go and say, "I want that bottle." They'll say, "Okay,
Mm.
you want the Chantal 33 or whatever," and then they'll make it, and they'll say, "Come back in a half hour. I'll be ready for you."
So but then what
Maybe
do
it's a
they
gimmick, but it makes me feel like special, really
what do they,
special.
what do they ask you though so that they can profile you? Like do they ask what type of
They
clothes do you wear? What activities are you
Yeah,
always
it's
engaging in?
that kind of thing. Is he sporty? I mean, I wasn't there the
Mm.
first time, but they do things like, I mean, I was sitting there watching another person go through the process while I was
Mm.
waiting to be served, and they ask, what types of hero notes do you want? Right? Is it
Wow.
sandalwood? Is it, lemongrass? I mean, it's a little, it's like when you go to those restaurants that they tell you like, oh, and the cow lived a great life. It was stress
Mm,
free.
okay, okay.
It's like they walk you through the story of it's
Of the
these
chickens,
sandalwoods.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
these ingredients were raised on a farm in France, and the guy,
Mm.
woke up every morning until he was 90 years old. Like they it's a real good story that they bring you through, and you kind of be like, oh really, that's amazing, and it's just for me, right? I'm a sucker for artisan stuff, so
Right.
this is if you like that kind of whole experience, bespoke scents, and it drives you to, oh okay, this is, while it is still mass produced, it's not mass produced as one
Yeah.
perfume unit. It's built for you while you wait. I guess that's the way to look at it. So it
And
still makes you feel like that.
as you shared, it was your wife. So did she get this for you as a gift for like
Yeah.
a birthday or an anniversary? And
I
then
think it
you're
was
like,
my birthday, like
okay,
maybe I want to say 10 years ago. Um, but ever since, and then
you
becomes your
just go on
signature
your own
scent.
now.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think my wife would like to say it, but if I'm out and people will be like, "Hey, you smell really good," right? And so it's like, "Oh, right. Yeah, well, that's my Lalabo, right?" It's one of those things.
Nice.
But it's definitely appeals to my vain side, of course. So
Very interesting. I'm gonna check this out the next time
you
I'm in
should,
Nordstrom
for
to see if they
sure.
have it in my Nordstrom.
Yep. Oh,
S-
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Yeah.
So from personal care and wellness, let's move to clothes,
Mm.
Manolo. Uh, whether it's a top or a bottom, what's your go-to? Like, what's an essential piece of clothing for you?
Well, like, I don't want to sound like a tech bro, but a vest is a really important thing, especially I live in
Obviously,
Chicago.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I'd say 9 months out of the year where it's frozen tundra. I mean, it's cold here always.
yeah.
So I mean, it just started to get cold and I'm inside the house, so I'm always wearing a vest. But I think, I work, I travel a lot, and I do speak and things like that, so I'm on stage a lot. So I don't want to like have to worry about what I wear. I would love to
Mm-hmm.
wear a uniform. Like that's to me that would
Mm.
be awesome. And I think men kind of have a uniform anyway. Like
Yeah.
we wear certain things over and over again. Like Steve Jobs wore the same thing, and I
Right.
like
Right.
that principle. So
Mm.
I, while a vest is like my go-to, I usually go to Uniqlo because they have a
Mm.
capsule wardrobe, right? So you can get like a couple tops, a couple bottoms. They're very functional. They have a sustainable side to them as well.
Yes.
Um, and this started in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Japanese are very good at utility clothing and things, which is what these are. Like you get a few of these in different colors. You can get a shirt, a top and a bottom, and they also have vests as well. But it's like a
Mm-hmm.
very easy way to have a uniform, but still vary it. So you can bring, and if you bring two or three different shirts and bottoms, that's all you need for a week in a travel, right? You just kind of swap them out. So I think
Right.
this is the closest to being Steve Jobs and wearing the same kind of long sleeve t-shirt outfit without having to.
Turtleneck. It was a turtleneck, right?
Yeah,
A
it was like
black
a
turtleneck.
mock neck.
Yeah.
He had that little
Mock
mock
neck.
neck thing,
Right.
and I think it's nice professional wear. Like you can see it, but it's also still casual enough that I'm not wearing. I don't think anyone wears ties anymore. I mean, there are some people. When
No.
when I
Yeah.
was at EY, it was a little bit more corporate-y, right? So
Still.
most of the
Okay.
most of the partners were wearing ties and stuff. So this is the close. I have jackets too, right? They also have like
Mm.
blazers, and they're very lightweight. They're not super structured. So I think the nice thing about Uniqlo, they call it lifewear. It's like
Yeah.
minimalist. Um, it's utility. It's easy to clean. Like you just throw it in the laundry. You don't have to wear a dry
Yeah.
cleaner or anything. And you don't have to think. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's not like streetwear where you're like, I mean, what do they call that? Tech wear, things like that. I mean, I like
Mm.
it, but I can't wear that. I'm too old for that anyway. So I kind
But
of
I
lose.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think what a lot of people don't know, or maybe they do know it, but Uniqlo is also highly technical. There's a lot of technology that comes into the fabric.
Yeah,
That's why
you're
it's
right.
not like your normal T-shirt. When you wear it, you feel it. Like, hey, this is a little more structured. There's a different feel to it,
Yep.
and it lasts forever, right?
100%. That's the quality, right? I think
Yeah,
that's
the
it's
quality.
it's not like, I mean, not to make fun of Walmart, but it's not a Walmart level. It's a
Right.
higher quality. To your point, they last forever. I
It
mean,
lasts forever.
it's the
Yeah.
Japanese principle. And
Right.
to your point, I think it's called airism. The
Airism.
shirts
Yeah. That's
are
actually my
really
favorite. Yeah.
great. Like they're lightweight. I mean, they
Yeah.
feel amazing. They last forever. I wear a lot of black. Black is also a key
Mm.
piece, right? Because it doesn't show up when you spill stuff on you, which I do all the time. Um, and you can't go wrong, right? But I think
Mm-hmm.
if you look at other black t-shirts or black long sleeve shirts, if you wash them enough, they start to turn gray,
Gray.
lighter.
Exactly. Right.
Not the Uniqlo versions. They stay
Mm.
black, dark black.
Right.
Um, that's what it's like. It's like Muji, but for
Yeah.
fashion. That's why I like it. I think that's
Which
the.
yeah, which makes me think I don't know which came first, Muji or Uniqlo. I think Muji came first and
I
then
think
Uniqlo
so. I
after,
mean, at
right?
least from a retail perspective, that's the one I used to see
Yeah.
first, and then now, of course, there's Uniqlo everywhere, right?
Yeah. It's
Um,
funny though. I remember when I was in the Philippines, I had to not that I had to fly to Hong Kong to go to Uniqlo or Singapore. But yeah, I used to have to go to Hong Kong to buy the Uniqlo stuff
yeah,
before they launched in the Philippines. But yeah, now they're everywhere. But even
that's
in the
right.
States, it seems like they're just getting started. It's just,
Yeah, I mean, it used to be only in the New York, Chicago, LA, right? Like that's where they
yeah,
started. And now you can
yeah,
see them. They're in
they're
Cleveland,
everywhere.
Ohio, right?
Right, right.
So
It,
I think as a brand, the kids have started to adopt it, right? It's
Yeah.
more they have some fashionable stuff in there too, which I don't think I would wear, but it's
Mm.
one of those things where I think they're adapting to the the North America or the US market.
But I still don't quite know. For me, it's Uniqlo, but there's some people who pronounce it Uniqlo. Like I saw
Really?
YouTube, yeah, Uniqlo. My brother in the Philippines pronounces it Uniqlo because it's unique clothing. But I've been used to
Wow, I
saying
didn't know
Uniqlo.
that.
I know, right? So I was like, do they care if it's Uniqlo or Uniqlo? I prefer Uniqlo.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
when I read it, it's like Uniqlo. Like I see
yeah,
that word, but Uniqlo makes
but
more sense. To
we
your point, it's unique clothing.
so we might be wrong, but yeah,
Yeah.
we're definitely big fans of Uniqlo, high quality basics. You're right. You can wear both to the gym and also just outside, but also to work.
Yeah.
They
And
are
like you said, they
they really
last
make great stuff,
forever.
and they last
The
forever.
quality is perfect, right?
For the
So,
price, they last forever for what
yeah.
you're paying. It's not expensive at all. Not
No,
expensive at all.
not at all. I mean, I would put them on the tier of Target has some great clothes, right? I mean, let's face it. And
Yeah.
I'll even say if you're a Costco person and a man of a certain age, you can buy some things at Costco, your clothes at Costco. Kirkland is a good brand too, solid. So I'd say they're on par with the cost. But to your point, A, they're stylish, but B, they last forever. Like you would
Right.
think they're
Right.
cheap, so it's a throwaway, but I don't see that.
It's funny. I remember this thing I read a long time ago where if you buy your clothes from Costco, not to knock Costco, I love Costco, but they said if you have to buy your clothes in Costco, you've given up in life. I was like, that's hilarious.
I
So,
think your age is where you start thinking about it,
right,
right?
right. No, also when you have kids, suddenly when you
100%.
have kids, you're
Yep.
like, get the budget, anything of everything. You
Right, because they
start,
grow out of it, and what are you gonna
right,
do? It's like you're not gonna
exactly.
do that. So, and you can't not want to buy a $12, you know,
Yeah.
Adidas sweat jacket or something. I mean, why wouldn't you?
So Manolo, moving on to
Yeah.
from clothes to naturally footwear. Now this next category, I think I have an idea of what you like, and I know this brand used to be your client. I don't know if they're still existing clients, but tell us about the footwear that you can't live without.
Yeah. So I'm a big sneakerhead. I mean, I don't know if you can see in the back here, but I have my sneaker collection. Like at one point I thought,
Oh yeah, yeah, I see it. Those
yeah, you
bins
can
on
see
there.
it.
Yeah.
So for me, I was always a big sneakerhead, but Adidas, everyone's
Mm,
a big Nike. I mean, Nike used to be one of my clients as well, but Adidas to me is like the original go-to brand of the 80s. Like, and I'm an 80s guy. I think, you can relate to me in the sense of classic style. The shell toe to me is like the
mm,
iconic sneaker. Run
love it.
DMC made it popular,
Right,
but
right.
in the 80s with the fat laces, I mean, you can't not think if you asked somebody, a kid, to draw a sneaker today, they would draw a shell toe superstar sneaker. And I have a ton of variants of those. Those are my go-to shoes. I mean, I think Adidas evolved them. They have the superstar twos now, which are nicer. They're a little bit thicker on the sole, and
Mm.
the three stripes are a little broader. But in my mind, the superstar is the classic shoe, and that's my go-to sneaker. I just vary the colors, and then they have every color under the sun. Um, but if you think about just it I want to say 55 years of
Wow.
this design, and they barely changed it. So it's like the standard. It's like a Volvo. It's a standard
Yeah.
kind of. This is what it is. It's unapologetic,
I bet
and
it's their number one seller too. I
it's got
mean,
to be.
year in, year out. This is what they're.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
they also
it's
have
like their
their
Levi's 501, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Right, and everybody does a collab with them, so
Mm.
you I think I do have the Run DMC collabs there. That's like my collector that I never wear. Um, there's a variant on Superstars. If you go on like StockX, you can see all the
Mm,
collabs, and they go for a pretty penny. I mean, they're not cheap.
yeah.
But it's like the standard sneaker, authentic, original basketball shoe, and I love a shell toe. I can't, it looks. I didn't realize. I thought it was just a design feature, but apparently the shell toe had a lot to do with this rubber cap
Mm-hmm.
for the courts. So they didn't mess up the courts. So that's kind of why the shell
Mm.
toe looks the way it does. And of course,
So it
people
doesn't
knocked it
scuff
up.
the court.
Yep,
Ah,
exactly.
okay.
If you think about like how people run and they drag their
Yeah.
toe, so
Yes.
that and it kind of looks like a basketball if you think about it, if you look
With the
closely.
lines. With the
hmm
lines. Right.
So it's kind of that. It's kind of it's an interesting design. It's very practical utility
But
wise.
a throwback to the how it was used.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very. I think it's nostalgic too, which I think when you get to my age and you start thinking about the good old days,
The
the
good
'80s
old
were
days.
awesome. Um, but I like the fact that they've kind of kept it as much of the same as possible up until recently
Right.
when they released the new version, which is still
Right.
very close to the original. So,
So how many pairs of this do you have, Manolo?
uh, I have not on premise, but I have about 200 sneakers that
Wow.
where I used to think that was going to be my retirement money. And now I've realized that was a stupid idea. It's the bottom fell out of the sneaker market. So I keep them around. I kind of trade them out
Okay.
whenever I like see another pair. Like my wife and I have a deal is like I can't bring any more new sneakers in unless I sell
You
one out.
dispose
So it's
of
one in,
one.
one out
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. That's
Um,
wise.
yeah, but it's not. I mean, if anyone's thinking about sneakers, I don't think this is a great investment strategy these
No,
days.
no, no, not at all. None of these things are. You know, when you used to think, oh yeah, my comic book collection is gonna send
Right?
my son to college, and then no, that's not. They're not
Yep.
paying anything for those things anymore. Stamps, coins, action figures, and sneakers.
Yep.
None of these are
Exactly. So
investments.
take them out of the
Please
package, play with
use
them, wear
them,
them.
right?
Yeah, that's the way to think about it. But I don't think
Enjoy them. Yeah.
exactly.
So 200 pairs of sneakers, but the Adidas Superstar, how many of those 200 are
I would
Adidas
say
Superstars?
my Adidas are probably half my collection, and then the
Okay.
rest are like Vans and
Right.
I buy a lot of collabs,
Nice.
but my Adidas, my Adidas, um, if you see on the rack behind me, they're mostly Adidas. And then
Mm.
when after Adidas, Nike became a client, and of course, I started to buy more Nikes. Just it's funny when you go to these places, you have to be careful what you wear because they don't like you wearing any other
Right.
brand. So
Right.
sometimes I've seen people get walked out and walked into the company store to buy the branded stuff if they forgot, like, oh crap, I'm wearing a Nike vest or something or a
Or
sweatshirt.
Reebok, yeah.
Yeah, right. Especially Adidas, they're very militant about it. And Nike's the same
Yeah.
way. Like you
Reebok
put
is the same. I watch that Shaq show where right there they will replace it with
yep.
something.
Same.
With a
It's the
Reebok, yeah.
same for any of the brands. Like if you walk into their headquarters or their
Yeah.
campus, you have to think about what you're
Right.
wearing, or
As
you
they
get
should, I think.
brought to the factory store. It's like, nope, go
Yeah.
change that, right?
Yeah. But then in terms of the color combination though, do you still go with the classic black stripes
I
on
love
white?
me a
Or
black or a white. That's
okay.
me. But they have every color under the sun, like a blue and a gold, or I have a red pair that has like ostrich skin style. It's
Mm,
not ostrich skin, but and then
the
I
pattern. The
I've
pattern.
got the bathing ape versions, which are awesome. A few camo versions of that, like in gray and green and things like that. So there's the Adidas app has this thing. It's confirmed. It's their new release collab high end version. And so whenever a new superstar thing comes out, I'm like
Mm,
watching it, and if I can get it, I'll get it. Right. Then
nice.
that's the way I kind of add to my collection. If I see a colorway that I don't have, I'm all over it. But
Nice.
I think the nice thing about it is it's like they go with anything, right? You could literally wear
Yeah,
a superstar with anything, and if it's white or black, classic. You know,
nice.
that's
So
how I do.
that's we're on number 5 on your
Yeah,
list. So we're halfway through. Just like what we did with tech to personal care, let's now
yeah.
move to a different aspect of your life. From clothing to footwear. Let's talk about food and beverage, Manolo. What
Ah,
food item, restaurant, meal, cuisine, is essential to you? Like, oh my God, I can't live without this. Let's move
yep.
on to that.
I think, and maybe it's everybody's go-to, but ramen, right? From when we started out, when we were all college kids and we were doing instant ramen, and then you evolve and you start getting real ramen, and you go to the ramen shops. You know, if you've ever been to Japan, hands down,
The
ramen
best. Yeah.
rules.
Right.
Um, and then so when I travel, I always look for the best ramen shops. And I'll be on Yelp or something or TripAdvisor and seeing what people are talking about. Even on
Mm.
Tik, there's like a ramen talk, and you can
Mm.
find the local places to go. But I'm in New York often, and my friends took me to Apudo, which is in the East Village, and to
Nice.
me that was like the quintessential. Like you could have been transported to Japan. Like they hand make
Mm.
everything.
So it's the
Um,
closest to the Japanese ramen that you've tried here in the
Absolutely. It's
States.
super authentic. Um, the place has a nice vibe. It's always crowded. Like you have to wait. People are waiting for half an hour just to get in there, right? But their tonkatsu broth is what they're known for. So the
Mm.
tonkatsu
Okay.
ramen is what you get. Um, and you can taste the authenticity and this just the smells when you walk in. Like it's already
Mm-hmm.
on your tongue. I'm starting to get hungry for
I'm
it.
hungry as well. I'm like, where do they have this in California? And then I'm seeing they have
Yep.
it in Culver City and West Hollywood, which is a trek for us.
Is it really?
We're in Orange County. This is easily an hour and a half to 2 hours. But
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I will
yeah.
drive for good ramen. So I'm excited to try this. I've never tried it.
Yep. I highly recommend.
Ipudo. So Ipudo ramen
Ipudo, I
with
mean
the
their
tonkatsu
tonkatsu
broth.
is the one to get. And I mean you're a big ramen head too. I think you got to go kind of find the right broth. Like that's what makes everything. I mean the
Yeah.
noodles, like even if they're handmade or semi-handmade, I think you can get away with it, but it's the
Hmm.
broth that makes
Yeah. It
the
it is the heart and soul of a good ramen.
a
The
hundred
broth.
percent.
Yeah. Is
So
it
that's right.
expensive? How much is
Mm,
it?
well, it's expensive because it's in New York, so you're not
Mm.
going to get away with less than 20. It's when
Mm.
you can add the customizations and stuff like that.
Right.
I think there's other chains out there that are cheaper, but I think
Mm.
when you go cheaper, you're also
The quality.
risking
Yeah.
your quality. I think there's a direct correlation to the cheaper bowl and because the ingredients are critical,
Yeah.
and how long they steep it and how long the broth has been,
Mm.
you know, stewing
Right.
around. So I wouldn't say I'm a snob, but I'll try anything. I mean, I think LA has some amazing, California has some amazing places, but when I'm in LA, I'm always like looking for the newest, hottest place. When I lived in Austin, they had some amazing kind of fusion where they took barbecue because it's Austin,
Mm.
it's Texas,
Yeah.
and they fused it with Japanese ramen,
Interesting.
and so you could get some really interesting flavors.
Wow.
Um, and then of course, there's the ones that you just kind of go into and it's just the booth, right? Have you ever gone to the booth
Oh
ones
yeah,
where
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's just you and the
Where it's
bowl and
just
they kind of just
yeah.
slide it out to you? And
I actually love that concept. I've never
yeah,
tried it, but yeah, it's
I
interesting.
think it's great because it focuses you on the food and you're not
Yeah, and that's what they want you
distracted.
to do. Yeah,
Yep. And you can
they
slurp
want you to
away as loud as
savor it.
possible. Yeah.
Right.
Unbelievable. Now I want ramen for lunch. Now
I'm definitely
I'm
having
getting hungry.
ramen for dinner tonight. We're going to
Right.
ramen. And remind me, Manolo, the next time you're in LA, you gotta hit me up. I'll bring you to a couple of
For
ramen
sure.
places here. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm excited to tell my wife about Ipudo out in Culver City. So moving on from food to drink, Manolo.
Yep.
Right now, what is that drink that is your go-to, your essential, your must-have that you can't possibly live without?
Well, I wouldn't call it biohacking, but I think most people like caffeine, right? And
Yeah,
so
that's a given.
it's a given, and you evolve from when you're a kid from like Monster,
Mm.
Red Bull to a little bit more I wouldn't say I'd say healthier, heart
Mm-hmm.
healthy. So I kind of look for an energy drink. I'm still into energy drinks. It's just now I'm looking at what's inside of it. Like before I was just
Yeah.
looking for the effect. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm not getting any younger. I need to kind of make sure I'm not killing myself.
Right. Right.
And so as you can see here, I'm a big Celsius fan.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
Celsius, I like the fact, and whether it's true or not, I bought into it. They have like a green tea extract, guarana, ginger root. Like if you read through what they have, it's all good stuff for you, right? No sugar, no artificial preservatives. You don't crash after these.
Mm.
Um, I think a lot of athletes and maybe even in the tech world, they call it clean energy, but they like it, right? So I think since COVID, since 2020, the brand has gone crazy. I think it's like the version of energy drinks that you evolve into as you become more sophisticated and older, right? So, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it.
How does
You
it
can
taste? Well, how is the flavor
amazing.
like?
And they have different variants, right? They have like a less energy drink tasting version. They have powders. So you can just
Hmm.
drop it into your water if you don't like the fizz. They have fizzy, not fizzy versions. Um, so I think it's still an energy drink, so you still get the rush, you still get the caffeine
Mm.
buzz, but it doesn't give you that crash. And it also can be used if I do sometimes I take this before I work out because it gives you like the
Mm.
thermogenic metabolism boost that you want before you go in.
Right.
But it doesn't give me like that super. I don't know if you ever had that thing where it makes you want to clench your jaw if you have too
Mm.
much
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
drink.
Right.
It has like a little bit of a buzz you get. So it doesn't have that, it doesn't have the edge,
Okay.
but it does have the benefits. And it's
Okay.
definitely to me tastes so much better. Um, They have variants of, they actually have like a creamsicle version, which is my favorite. Then they have like a fruit punch version, which is also, this is actually my favorite, the sparkling orange. That's like my number
Mm. Okay. I was gonna
one.
ask what flavor you're partial to. So the
Yeah,
orange.
the orange is like what I stock my fridge with downstairs
Mm.
when I like have to work long hours. But it's definitely like you get everything you want from an energy drink, but you don't feel bad about it. Like it's guilt free.
Yeah.
Um, and it lasts a long time. I'd say maybe 4 to 5 hours. I don't think anyone should drink more than two or three a day. But I've had the long days when I've had to.
Mm.
I think the other part is, um, I think the way that they've thoughtfully thought through how they explain their philosophy about how they make these drinks, kind of, I bought into it, right? I'm a
Mm.
big, uh, I like to know the story behind the
Yeah.
products, right? I mean, you're the same way. It's like
Yeah.
you want to understand where they're coming from, what their ethos is, and I liked it. I mean, I bought into this is a clean energy drink that is not going to kill you right away. Like I think all energy drinks at some point aren't going to be the
Eventually.
best for you, but at least I'll prolong my life a little bit longer
So
instead of like Red Bull or Monster.
what what's interesting to me about Celsius is you never heard about them recently. You know, it's just they
Yeah,
suddenly came out of nowhere and
that's
took
true.
over. They took over. Like you've never heard of the Celsius brand a few years back, but
Yep,
now they're like, everybody's talking about it and everybody's trying it. So I think
yep.
in terms of marketing and positioning, they're out there right now.
I think so. I think they're
Yeah.
doing really well.
Yep.
and they don't put like I think they're the cans that are 300 milligrams for stuff that's way bad for you.
Mm.
They are very cautious about not going over 200 milligrams of caffeine in
Mm.
one can.
Yeah.
So you don't have to think. It's not like, okay, maybe I only need half this can. I mean, you can. I think 200 milligrams is equivalent to what? That's like 4 cups of coffee.
So where do you buy your Celsius, Manolo? And then do you buy them in
Costco, of
bulk?
course.
Costco. Okay. So you get them in
um,
Costco.
Costco is nice because you can get them in the 24 packs.
Mm.
You can get them on Amazon too, but they only have like the 18 packs. Like I haven't seen any of
Mm.
the ones.
Okay.
And the pricing is always it's a good price. I think it's under $30 for the 24 pack.
Okay.
Um, so it's like it's on our standard, rotation to whenever we're at Costco picks them up. They always have it on sale of some kind.
So the 24 pack lasts you about a month?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I'd take one every day. I honestly think I'm drinking
Yeah.
it. This is the one for the day, but it'll last me pretty much a month.
You gotta admire their packaging too. It's a very clean, very minimalist, unlike the others where they're kind of screaming and
Yep. Well, if you think about it, like they put what's on it, what's in it on the can, like so you makes you feel like, oh, okay, I'm getting an
Yeah.
orange or passion fruit. But if you look at like a Red Bull or a Monster, it's all about the energy, right? They'll have a monster on it. The monster face is on there. Or Red Bull is like, it gives you wings. It's not about, oh,
Mm.
it's a better thing for you. It's
Yeah.
clearly about
It's
the impact or
clean.
the
Yeah.
effect. Yep.
So now,
Yeah.
Manolo, again, shifting drastically from food and drink, let's go into entertainment. Like what is a guy like you, obviously very busy, very tech driven? What does a guy like you do to um de-stress? How do you entertain and recreate yourself?
Yep. Well, because it's a travel thing for me and I like to,
Mm, okay.
I don't necessarily play a lot of I'm more of a console guy. Like I have a PS5 and then carry my Switch 2, right? I recently upgraded um, to the Switch 2. I think the coolest part is it does 4K when it's docked,
Mm,
which the
okay.
other one didn't. So I carry a dock with me and I plug it into the hotel TV. So it's my portable gaming console, which I love. And of course, if you're a Nintendo fan, I mean this all of the Nintendo games are on here, even the retro games,
Mm,
hands down. And I play a game called No Man's Sky, which is like came out a long time ago, but it's recently been kind of updated, and they do all sorts of kind of community games that you can play. So I continue to play it, but it lets you play cross-platform. So what I do is like I'll play on my PS5, and then I can pick up on the Switch when I travel. Um, and I also like the gaming. Like you can have it as you hold it like a regular dock, like your phone like this, and you play like
mm,
this. But you can also take it off, right? The controllers come off, and then it has a little kind of uh, dock for the controllers, and you could play it as you can see in this picture. It's standalone screen, and then you can play it like a console too, which is what I love because that's how I play. So I like that, and of course, it has multi gaming built in, especially Mario
mm-hmm.
Kart. I love to play that game. It's like one of those mindless games where you don't really
Yeah.
you're
You
just
don't have to
driving,
think too much. Yeah.
right? And it's nostalgic, right? I mean, that we all
Nice.
grew up with that.
Right. Right.
All the Mario versions are in there. Like I'll go all the way back to oh, and they had Donkey Kong for a while. Like they
Mm,
bring back some old nostalgic games that you can play. I mean, it's just like if you grew up in the 80s, this is the console portable that you carry with you, right? Because you can go all the way back. And they have the new ones too, like the new Zelda. I
mm.
mean, I play that
Yeah.
once in a while. Um, but if you're in the airport waiting for your
Yeah.
plane, it's the go-to. You just pull it out of your backpack and it's all there and you're just playing. And time goes, it's either that or TikTok, right? It's like a
Yeah.
time waster, makes time go fast.
Speaking of airports, Manolo, that's the perfect segue to our next category, which is travel. What is
Yep.
a travel essential for you? Obviously, you do a lot of travel. So, is it what kind? what kind of gear or item is essential for you when you're traveling?
I think so. I'm a big backpack person. Like I said,
Okay.
I carry a lot of gear with me. There's no way, like if you carry a messenger bag, it digs into your shoulder. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Yeah.
big strappy guy. But when I started to work for one of the big four, I got a comment from one of the partners, which kind of, I was like, what the hell? But they were like, hey, you need a more professional bag
Wow.
because I had a
Okay.
backpack. It was actually a gaming tag. It
Mm.
was an Astro backpack, but it was 35 liters. It was big. Like
Mm.
you need that so you can put your clothes in it. You don't
Mm.
have to pull that little luggage,
Yeah.
roller with you. It's all in
Right.
one. So I had that. But then when I kind of had to kind of grow up a little bit, I got this convertible backpack briefcase. And that to me, and then, Timbuktu is like, I've always been Timbuktu brand guy, right?
I have
If
a
you go to their
Timbuktu.
site,
Yeah.
yeah, like they last forever. I mean, you could hand them down to your
Yeah.
kids, but this one is awesome because it has the professional briefcase look, so you can do that. Like the guy's wearing it like this. So if
Mm.
I'm going to
Right.
a more conservative client, I do this.
Mm. Okay.
But when I'm in the airport and running around, I
Yeah.
do this. And it has a cool little thing that you can, if you have a roller, like you just
Yeah.
need a little bit more
You
with
can
you,
slide it in.
slide
Yeah.
it in because, that's kind of
Nice.
the big deal. And the nice thing is it has pockets, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
there are backpacks that are just like you put everything in it and you have to put your own kind of containers in it.
Mm-hmm.
This one has so many pockets that you don't have to do that. Like you can find things very easily. It's still very tech focused. So,
Mm-hmm.
your hard drive, your mouse, all of that will fit in a perfectly sized pocket. Um, and you still have room for you could actually put a day's worth of clothes in there too if you had to.
Yeah, like here
So it's
they
not
have
bad.
like you can see their jeans. Somebody packed jeans in the product
Yep.
photo.
Like I'd say, I mean, I can only get one day's worth in
Of
there. I
course.
mean, and sometimes, like I said, I like sneakers, so I'll carry two pair with me. But
Mm.
if I'm just going for an overnight, which happens a lot, this is the perfect go-to briefcase, backpack, convertible. So you can still look like a grown-up if you want to, but you still have the practicality of a backpack. Um, it's kind of messenger baggy, kind
Mm-hmm.
of, because of I think the Timbuktu where it comes from, but the only way I only wish it came in other colors. Like
Mm,
it's
yeah.
gray and black. Like it's the one.
Right.
It's okay, but if you look at Timbuktu's other stuff, you could customize it forever. So
And I think $159, that's not expensive at
no,
all.
right?
No.
Most of the
Yeah.
other ones are 200 plus, right?
Right,
If you
right.
go, especially if you're going for a full on backpack, right? But
Yeah.
not a briefcase. Like a grown up briefcase can go way up. But this,
$500 easy. Yeah,
yep,
450. Yeah. So I think for something more adult and like you said more, I don't know, professional or sophisticated,
yeah.
159, that's nothing.
No, no, no. And it'll last you forever. And they have a
Nice.
trade in too. Like if you end up trying to to get a new one or the next one, they give you like I think it's 20%. Like they do let you trade in your old one and they'll reuse the
Mm,
parts. So, that's the one thing about Timbuktu also is it's sustainable. They have a program for returning them or reusing renewable materials, things like
nice.
that. It's a
Nice.
good brand.
So we're down to the last two, number 9 and number 10, Manolo.
Yep.
Let's talk about accessories or flair or bling. Uh, what accessory can you not live without, or that's an essential for you?
This was a tough one because like I thought, oh, I could talk about so many flair and bling that I have.
Right.
But if I had to, like, it was between my Ultra watch and my AirPods, right? To me, I do feel like AirPods are still bling. I mean, they're utility now
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
If you have the translation feature is a godsend, especially if you work with multiple companies that are different. I work with France and China and Japan,
Mm,
so I can actually use them in meetings. So I loved it. But I really love my Ultra. I just got the new one, of course. The battery life is phenomenal. It's like 2 days, 2.5 days that you can
Nice.
use it. I don't do a lot of mountain climbing. You know, I aspire to be an outdoorsy person, which is why I think I bought the Ultra, but it has some amazing features. Like it has satellite calling if you get into a place where you need help, which
Wow.
is awesome. I mean, if you think
Yeah.
about it, it's like a lifesaver. The biometric side of things, like they brought back the blood oxygen feature. It can check your heart rate in real time. I mean, I have diabetes type 2, and they have a an app that you can attach to the sensor so you know when your
Mm.
blood sugar is dropping. So
Wow.
from a health perspective, and it has a fall detection like no other. But I feel like the battery life, if you think about it, I used to have to bring a charger with me when I travel. Like especially if you're traveling overseas or something, you would have to do at least one charge because these last. Like honestly, my Ultra 2 when I went to visit my parents in the Philippines, I didn't have to charge it when I got
Mm.
back, right? You could take the whole flight and not have to worry about running out of battery, right?
Right, right.
So I think that it's the battery life is the key piece to me, and then of course all the location based features. It's super rugged. You can go swimming with it, which I should say I want to go swimming, but I don't. So it makes me feel like I'm an outdoorsy person, even if I'm not.
And that's really what you're paying for, right?
Right,
The
exactly.
feeling.
It's it's Apple, right? So I bought
Yeah.
into the lifestyle, even if I don't have it, right? But and also the the workout buddy thing is perfect, right? It'll automatically sense, oh, you're taking a walk or you're running, and then do you want to
Mm.
record it? So
Nice.
and then for me, because I rent a lot of cars and I
Mm.
forget where I park the car, they have a
Mm.
thing
Oh, it
on
has that.
here
Oh,
that
wow.
you can say like remember where you parked, and then it'll give
Mm.
you, they actually have a new watch face which shows you like where your car is. It'll tell you
Wow.
exactly so
I
you can
did
walk
not
back to
know
your car.
that.
So it's a utility too.
Nice. I
So that's
did
my
I
blame.
I didn't know they had the satellite. I did not know they had the fall detection, and definitely didn't know they had the parking thing. That's really
Yeah,
useful.
yeah, I
Cause
mean, I think the key is you have to be an Apple person to
yeah.
buy into the ecosystem. So like if you have an Android, I think there is an Android app coming out. I'm not sure, but it only if you're an iPhone person will this be beneficial. But if you're into the ecosystem, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a little thicker than the Apple Watch. I mean, it's more
Mm.
chunky, the ruggedy, manly size thing.
Mm.
This is supposedly a bigger screen, but you really can't tell like I compared it to the other one. But it's always on. The display is amazing. I mean, it looks just like the picture all the time. It's always on. So I definitely, if you're an Apple person, it's a no-brainer. This is the one you want.
It's funny. Our other friend Samir, remember Samir?
Yeah.
He just posted on Meta about his Apple Watch, how he loves it so much, and it's exactly this one.
Is
Is
it?
it? Yeah, it reminds him of his Casio G-Shock with the
That's
ruggedness and
true,
the
it
sun. Yeah.
does. Oh, the
So
G-Shock, man.
so
That's right.
you get that feeling, but with all the tech stuff behind it. It's also funny you're talking about the Apple ecosystem. So we have that Apple TV, and they have that remote control that they have, which is a sliver of a thing. And obviously with remote controls, it gets lost all the time. I have to use my phone to use the find my remote feature, and it's just
Yeah,
this is ridiculous, but I use it all the time to kind of
honestly.
detect where it is. It's just so
It's
funny.
true. 100%. I wish they had something for glasses. Like if they would
Right.
take an AirTag and put it in glasses, I'm forever losing my
I
glasses.
think that's gonna happen soon. What with all these meta glasses and everything, I think that's close at hand. And unfortunately, Manolo, we come to the last part of this episode, which is for self improvement or
Hmm.
development, personal development, or continuing education, if you will. What's that for you? What's your essential when it comes to continually improving yourself or developing yourself?
Um, so I have jumped on the vibe coding bandwagon. That to me is the self-development, right? And if you're new to the world of vibe coding, it's basically being able to describe software like you're
Yeah.
talking to, I mean, it's basically using an LLM, and you tell it what you want to build, and it generates code for you. So you
Mm.
don't necessarily have to be a programmer. I mean, you don't have to be a programmer. I mean, if you understand the fundamental capabilities you want,
The
you
principle
can
or the
tell it.
philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you can code and test it and run things in real time, right? So usually, in the old days, you'd have to say, Here's the functional specs for the app, give it to a developer, and then they come
Yeah.
back to you later." This does it in real time.
Right.
You don't have to worry about understanding the syntax or the language. It
Yeah.
literally will code it for you and then
Yeah.
actually run and test it for you. So to me, especially in the world we live in today, when AI is taking over every piece, you can
Yeah.
start testing your concepts
Right.
and saying, it keeps me sharp, right? I don't have to be a coder, but I can still use, my agentic workflows and my what I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this. Can this work? Can I build an agent that does this? And then I will test it. Now, these aren't ever going to be scaled, but it gives me kind of the practical experience on if what I'm thinking about is actually executable, or the experience for the end user, is it going to be good or not?
Yeah.
So it's a great way to kind of think about it as you're comping your ideas in an active way,
Yeah.
and you also learn about how to talk to the LLM, right? Because
Yes.
you
Yes.
start thinking through. You're not telling it to build everything from scratch. You have to give it instructions on what you want, and I think
Right.
it clarifies your thinking. So
Yeah.
just
You
like
gotta you
everything.
gotta be economical with your words.
Yep.
No, not no non-essential words that might confuse them or not get to the point.
Exactly. And you have to think it through. Like you have to
Yeah.
say, I want it to do these things,
Yeah.
and I want it to grab this feed from here. So you were also thinking through the different types of flows that have to be part of this app. Like it'll suggest things to you, or give you hints, or ask you additional questions if you're doing it the right way. Like you can reason with a vibe code type of approach. It's like, I want to do it this way. Is this the right way, or should I be doing it a different way? And then you can get that out of it as well. Um, but not that developers are bad people, but you don't have to deal with a developer.
Right. Right.
You can just keep going back and forth, and when the moment strikes you, here's the best part. It's like you have an idea.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be great for you. Like you have
No,
great
no.
ideas all the time. It's
I was
like,
just
but I
gonna
need to
say,
find a developer to make my idea come to life. This
right.
this is what you need, Ricky. You can just
No.
all your
I
ideas
was
come out.
I was just gonna say, remember 15, 20 years ago when I would always run to you with my ideas
Yeah.
and we would always go to that same guy. Remember that guy, your developer
Yeah,
guy in the filter?
Star Wars,
Sar.
right? Remember Star Wars?
So now I'm like, when I think
Can't
about it,
believe Star Wars anymore.
I'm like, oh my God, the technology really has caught up with what I want. It took a few years, it took a decade or so, but it has caught up where, yeah, you can just finally get your ideas into reality, right? This is
Yep.
what it does. What's fascinating for me too, though, is when all of this came out, it still reminds me of that. You know those old role playing games on the PC where it was line by line. It was just text, right?
Yes.
You're in a dark cave. What are you gonna do? And you
Yes.
you gotta know how to type it, right? You gotta know what to say. Go north or go whatever, right?
Yep.
And I was so that's why when this came out, I'm like, oh, this is not new. I used to do this when I was 8 years old,
100%.
where I would talk to the computer and tell them exactly what to do. And if you've had that relationship when you were a kid, this comes naturally, and you just got to figure that out. So I was like,
Yep.
this is not new territory or anything. So it does remind me of that. The only thing that not it's not a frustration, but the only thing for me is it's still like the chat format. It's still like line by line. It's still not, spatial, or it's still limited by line text is my
Yep.
only concern maybe. But, that's just how computers are, right?
Yep. I think I call it reasoning with the computer, because
Yeah.
at some point you forget you're talking to a computer and you start like just having a conversation, and it comes back to you. Like if I've set my LLMs to be less pedantic, because they're all like they have
Mm.
personalities that you can set, right? Especially on OpenAI. Sometimes it's like, oh, that's a great idea. You're so smart. Like that to me is not helpful.
Overly optimistic, right?
Yes.
It's just crazy.
There's a South
Where they're
Park
like,
episode about that. Like it struck me as like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. So I actually make it more critical, so my
mm,
thinking gets challenged. I think
yes,
that's tuning the way you do things with any
right.
AI technology. But in this case, what this is coding, but you can also reason with it and say,
Yeah.
okay, is this right? Am I being, are you being overly supportive, or is
Yeah.
there a better way to do this?
You need a
Uh,
little bit of friction or a little bit of
yeah,
conflict,
you don't want
right?
someone that's just being like, you're so smart. That's the
You're the
best idea
smartest
ever.
thing. Yeah. You're the best thing that ever happened.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with AI, the overly optimistic, and they never get moody. They never like, oh, you know what? We're 2 hours in this and I'm losing my energy.
Yeah,
Let's just
you
get
want to
this
take a
over with.
break.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just interesting. And I think for us, I think that's we can talk again like everything. We can talk about this endlessly. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, Manolo, for
Oh, I
your
loved being on the show.
for sharing your top 10. I already picked up a few things: Lilabo, Ipudo, and Celsius. These three are the ones I'm going to try out. So,
Good.
for our millions of viewers and listeners, I'm sure they picked up a lot. Thank you so much for sharing this. And again, for any YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit up that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you'll get notifications every time a new episode comes in. And then also like the video. And most importantly for me, go to the comment section. If there's something you find useful, if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for guests in the show, please go ahead and do that. Manolo, thank you again for always
Glad to
being
be.
supportive. And I'll see you in our next episode for your channel or for your podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll do that. Great.
Thanks, Manolo. Have a good
Thank
day,
you.
man.